guys, it's me, and today I am back from my little holiday break, and I'm back with you guys with a new installment of Am I Gonna Buy This? A series in which I talk about the new makeup launches, announcements, and sneak peeks and whatnot that happened during the previous month, and I talk about whether or not these items that got talked about are things that I'm interested in picking up. Am I gonna anti-haul them? Or am I just gonna roast them? Now, I do have a lot of things in my list that we could potentially talk about today. I don't know if they're actually gonna make it into the video. We'll have to wait and see, but just know that there are a lot of things that I got floating on in my list. According to the collection thingy here, there are 61 items. Oh, actually, 60. Because I just realized that one item is on here twice. There's a lot on here. And we have makeup launches, we got fragrance launches, we got skincare, we got news stories. We got multiple news stories that we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be talking about all of that stuff here in this video. We got a lot to discuss. We got some interesting things happening within the beauty space right now. And we're going to be talking about all of those things today. Or at least the ones I don't want to talk about. But I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday season. I know mine was fairly chill with a sprinkle of retail hell, but things are starting to slow back down at work, or at least I'm hoping they're starting to slow down at work. Tomorrow is like the first Saturday of the new year, and I work tomorrow morning, and I have no clue what to expect. Also, I think before I left for my little break, I popped some green into my hair. I refreshed the blue. It's been about maybe 2 weeks now since I've done those things, so things are a bit faded and whatnot. Like, there are some parts of the blue that are a little bit faded. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and dive on into this because, like I mentioned before, we got a lot to talk about today, potentially. So go ahead and get yourselves comfortable and whatnot because we're about to dive on into this. But before we do so, if you guys are new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. And also, while you're down there, definitely get this video a thumbs up because that'll help me out a lot. All my links are down in the description box below, which are in the links to my Twitter, Instagram, and my music channel. So definitely check me out on those places if you are interested. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully the lighting won't be too all over the place today and whatnot. I'm filming this a little bit early. It's about to be noon, and the sun is about to be tucked away a little bit. So hopefully the lighting won't be too bad. The first thing that I want to discuss is some news coming from Urban Decay, and that is that I believe this has already gone into effect. Let me check. So this has already gone into effect, but Urban Decay announced early in December that they are actually going to be shutting down their web shop. So the Urban Decay website is no longer a thing anymore. They were going to close it down on the 28th of December. As of when I'm filming this, today is the 5th, right? Yeah, the 5th. So it's been shut down for over a week now at this point. And so, yeah, they shut down their web shop. And if you placed any orders leading up to that point, those orders are still going to be live. You'll still be able to track them and keep up with them and whatnot. But they're accepting no new orders. And the reason for this is because they are going to be focusing more on the stores that their products are actually sold in. So say like Ulta, Sephora, Ulta at Target, places like that. They're going to be focusing on selling their products in those places instead of their actual web shop. For me, this is a massive red flag for the brand because for a long time, not just me, but a lot of people in general have been speculating that Urban Decay has been hurting a lot, and it's because they really haven't done anything to really make themselves stand out in the last few years. Yeah, what is it? Space Cowboy? I was about to call it Moon Horse, but no, that's a great song by Vampyre. Space Cowboy eyeshadow, yeah, blew up on TikTok and whatnot, but that's really the only thing that the brand is now becoming known for. And like, all nighter setting spray is starting to fade to the background now because of the Until Dawn setting spray from one side. So the brand is really starting to lose its grip. Like, they don't have us in a chokehold anymore. They're kind of just there now. And so it's starting to really start to settle in, for me at least, that the brand is probably in big trouble. And we're probably going to start hearing some pretty bad things coming from the brand possibly this year in 2024. I'm hoping that this brand is able to keep themselves afloat because I do have a soft spot for Urban Decay. They were the first prestige brand that I ever had products from back when I first started getting into makeup a decade ago now. Like, the first time that I ever went into a Ulta and actually shopped inside of an Ulta was the day after my birthday in 2024, not 2024, in 2014. In 2014. And so June 21st, 2014, that was the first time I ever shopped inside of an Ulta. And so I have a lot of special memories attached to Urban Decay. And I remember the days of when they had us in that chokehold and whatnot. But now it's just like they're falling to the wayside. And it's sad to see that we are getting this first little warning of a possible bad thing to come from the brand, and that is the potentials of them going out of business. There are 3 good stories that we have to touch on, and these are 3 brands that are going to be making their way into Ulta. And if I'm not mistaken, they've already made their ways into Ulta, except for one brand. I know 2 of them have made it in so far, and that first one is Olehenriksen. Olehenriksen is a very well-known skincare line that's been around for a hot minute. They made their way into Ulta stores at the first of the year, so they are now officially in Ulta. And I have tried, what all have I tried from Olehenriksen? I think I've only have tried but one thing from the brand, and that is the Dewtopia mask. Really like it. I haven't used it in a hot minute, just simply because I prefer using it at night and I suck at remembering to do skincare at night. The next brand that is going to be making its way into Ulta stores and is officially there now as of the first of the year as well is going to be Sol de Janeiro. Now, Sol de Janeiro is a brand that I feel as if really deserves to be in Ulta. I feel as if Ulta is a good place for it to be, especially considering that now the demographic for the brand is going to be in like teens and tweens and like very young adults. I feel like in the very beginning, it very much fit in with Sephora back when it was just the Bum Bum cream was going around years upon years ago and everything. But since it's been blowing up on TikTok, the demographic for the brand has changed dramatically, and I feel as if like the brand is really honing in on that fact. And so them going into a place like Ulta is really going to be very, very beneficial for the brand, because there are some parents who don't want to take their kids to a Sephora because they know that the kids are going to be tempted to get like the other things that are in there. And Sephora is a prestige branded store, so you're going to have like your prestige brands, your luxury brands in there. And so having a brand like Sol de Janeiro, where the price points aren't that bad to begin with, going into a place like Ulta is going to be very beneficial for the brand. And then the last brand that's going to be going into Ulta, this brand is going to be making their way into Ulta until next month, so in February, and that is Charlotte Tilbury. I think that this is a good move for Ulta. I don't really know if it's necessarily a good move for Charlotte Tilbury though. But then again, that's how I kind of feel about these luxury brands going into Ulta stores now, because it's kind of taking away the mystique of luxury brands by taking them out of places like Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, and Sephora stores and putting them into a place like Ulta, where you get like not just like prestige brands but also mass brands as well. So it just seems a little bit odd seeing so many luxury brands now are starting to go into Ulta stores. Like we saw it with Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, and I think Dior makeup is now at Ulta, Robin Beauty is at Ulta. And so like we're seeing all these luxury brands making their way into Ulta, and then you also have like the borderline luxury brands, like they're like at the high end of prestige but the low end of luxury. So brands like Estee Lauder, Lancome, Hourglass, brands like them, like yeah, they've been in Ulta stores for a while, but like I said, like they teeter the lines of luxury and prestige. But brands like Charlotte Tilbury, Pat McGrath, and Robin Beauty, and whom else did I say, Dior and Natasha Denona, like all of those brands are like luxury brands. I don't really know if these higher ticket brands going into Ulta is really beneficial for them. Yeah, it expands the market that they are distributed in. It's been a minute since I checked this, but the last time that I checked, the only Ulta within like central up to like North Georgia, the only Ulta that carries luxury brands is the store in Athens. And who is going to go all the way out into Athens to get a luxury brand product when you can easily pop into a Sephora within any of the malls within the Atlanta area to get a luxury brand product? Okay, so I'm seeing that the mini palettes are popping up in different stores throughout the like Atlanta area, so that's good. Yeah, it looks like the only things that people have from Natasha Denona are gonna be in the mini palettes. And so with that in mind, I can guarantee you that they don't have a Natasha Denona section inside these Ulta stores. They have them most likely just up and grab and goes. If you're going in store to like see these products, if they're gonna be up and grab and goes inside like an Ulta, you're not going to be able to test a product out. They're not going to have testers out there for them. You're just going to buy them and see if you like them or not. Do I think it's probably beneficial for the brands online? Absolutely, because the brands are available. But just because the products are available from that brand online doesn't mean that people are going to order those products online from Ulta. Because when it comes to luxury products, I mean, I can attest to this. Like, I'm not going to spend that much money on like a tiny little 5-pan palette without being able to test out the formula. Now, if it was saying like the times that I've had like the 5-pan palettes that are like larger, like the full-size 5-pan palettes that I've had in the past, and getting them at like a massive discount of some sorts, then yeah, I can see you doing that and everything and paying like $25 for those and everything. But paying like $27 for like a little mini 5-pan palette for a brand that you're not familiar with, who's really gonna be buying those? Only but a particular clientele is going to be buying those. Whereas if you go into like a Sephora store that's going to have the testers, people are going to like go into those Sephora stores and view those testers and sample the products because they have the testers and see if it's really worth the splurge or not. At the same time, I know when it comes to like the luxury brands that I mentioned though that are in like Ulta, I feel as if like Charlotte Tilbury might actually stand a chance a bit, considering how much people really love Charlotte Tilbury from a wide range of people. Like there are like teens and tweens that enjoy Charlotte Tilbury. Granted, it's because of TikTok blowing the brand up and everything, but still like a younger audience is enjoying Charlotte Tilbury. And then you have like people of even like a more mature audience gravitate towards the brand as well. And me, I've known about Charlotte Tilbury for a very, very long time. I remember when Cora from Vintage or Tacky first started talking about the brand with like the lipsticks and the blushes, and her making a comment that one of the blushes looked like a boob. Like I remembered that like years upon years ago, like when like 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there. I remembered those days. Hell, it could have been even sooner than that. I remember Cora talking about Charlotte Tilbury launching a brand. I remember when she talked about when Natasha Denona first came out with her first 2 palettes and they were like $273. Like, I remember those days and everything, and like you can only get those products from very specific places like Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, Beautylish. Like you can only find them in those places. And so now that they're getting more mainstream recognition, does it make sense for them to expand and sell their products in other places? Yes, absolutely. But at the same time though, is it really gonna be beneficial for these brands in the long run? I'm not entirely sure. Look at me going on like a weird rant about luxury brands. There we have my 50 cents apparently on luxury brands going into Ulta. So let's go ahead and touch on this final news story. And this is a story that I feel like we all saw coming, but it was announced, I believe, at the first of the year or right at the end of the year that Jaclyn Cosmetics is going to be closing their doors. And I saw this coming. I saw this coming. If you have been keeping up with the Forma bankruptcy for a while, like I have, like, I mean, I haven't been keeping up with it, like, intensely. The only bit of keeping up with it that I've been doing is just, like, keeping up with Jen Loves, talking about any updates on the court documents popping up and everything, because she keeps up with it with her What's Up in Makeup series and everything, because she talks about makeup news and beauty news and whatnot every week. And so that's the only way that I keep up with it. So whatever she fills me in on with that, that's all that I know about that whole situation. But she has been talking about how, like, Jaclyn Cosmetics has been, like, in a bit of a state of limbo because the fact that, like, it was mentioned that apparently as of within, like, the bankruptcy occurring, Jaclyn isn't the owner of Jaclyn Cosmetics, but that she is actually more so just like the face of the brand and like a figurehead within the brand. Like, she's still a part of the brand, but she doesn't own the brand. It was always up in the air as to what Forma was actually going to do with Jaclyn Cosmetics, and that they never like stated really much of anything as to what their plans were for that brand. People started speculating like whether or not the brand was going to exist, and then considering that Jaclyn closed her cozy line and her jewelry line, a lot of people started speculating whether or not Jaclyn Cosmetics would be closing down. And we now have that confirmation that the brand is closing down, and all the products from the brand are 50% off on Ulta's website. I don't know if you can still find her products in store at Ulta, because I know when it comes to brands that go out of business, at Ulta's at least, the products will either be RTV'd or they're gonna be just thrown in the trash. And sometimes they'll even be put on clearance and everything. They might do it that way to try to get rid of some products, but overall, like, the products are gonna be like dealt with in some sort of way. I can check in with a friend of mine that's a manager at the store in my hometown. I can check in with her and see if she might know what's happening there, but at the same time, I don't really care enough about the brand to figure out what's happening with it. So there's also that. I will say this though, I have been curious about trying some products out from the brand, but the thing is though, is that I don't know if I'm curious enough to actually purchase the product. There is a part of me that does feel a bit bad for Jaclyn, because it's just like, I know that she really wanted this brand to be a thing and everything for a very, very long time, and then like with the failed launch with the lipsticks many years ago now at this point, I feel bad about the brand not working out for her in the long run to a degree. But at the same time, the part of me that doesn't really like Jaclyn Hill anymore doesn't really care that the brand is going out of business. Those are the news stories that we have here. I'm hoping that I'll be able to condense that portion of the video down, because I have been recording now for almost 30 minutes and we are just now finally starting to dive into these new product launches that I have here on my list. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Starting out with a new launch from Sol de Janeiro. This guy is now available, and I have tested out part of this launch, and that is they have released a new body butter and body spray, and this is the Delicia Drench body butter, and this is supposed to relieve dry skin and repair the moisture barrier, and the scent notes in it are vanilla orchid, sugared violet, and sandalwood. Now, I tested this out and everything. I popped into the Sephora that I like to go to that's near me, and I popped in there and I tested a product out on my hand. It is thick, like thick with 4 C's. Like, this shit is like borderline hard. Like, it is that thick. Like, it is the richest body butter I have ever come across before. And which, I mean, is that a good thing considering that like it's supposed to be like hydrating and relieve like dry skin and whatnot? Yeah, you want something that's gonna be heavy duty and everything, but holy shit, like it is hard. And I couldn't really smell the scent. Granted, I do think that I'm dealing with a sinus infection at the moment, so my sense of smell isn't the best. They also obviously had to release a body spray in the same scent, and this is the 59 spray. Where they come up with the numbers for their sprays, I have absolutely no clue how they come up with the number system for these fragrances and everything, but this is the Cheriosa 59, and it's got the same scent notes in it: vanilla, orchid, sugared violet, and sandalwood. And when it comes to the body sprays from Sol de Janeiro, the whole purpose behind them is that, yeah, you can wear them on their own, but they recommend that you pair them with the body butter so that way the scent will last even longer, and it'll also strengthen the scent of the body butter. So that's why they have like a spray that goes in tandem with the butters. Now, I do want to mention this because it is just absolutely ridiculous about this product, but there is a rumor going around that there is a ingredient in this new Sol de Janeiro that is very similar, or it replicates the same effect of a pheromone released by spiders that can attract them. And that is just absolutely unhinged and absurd, but at the same time I am so here for it. Like, this is such a bizarre rumor. Like, I know that like it's one of the Chanel number 5s is supposed to like attract like jungle cats. It's legitimately a thing. There are certain people who will use Chanel number 5 on like farms and whatnot to detract certain animals and pests. Who knows, maybe this is like a legit thing. Again, it could just simply be a rumor, but I swear if I start hearing stories from these little teeny boppers talking about how like they have spiders coming after them now and whatnot because they use these products from Sol de Janeiro, I am going to scream, laugh so hard. I am going to cackle so much. Next up, we have a collection from Glamlite, and this is the Garfield collection. And this is a big collection. Eyeshadow palette, we got a face palette, we got eye masks, we got lashes, a mirror, a makeup bag, lip care duo, a makeup sponge. Like, we got a lot of stuff in here. I am not interested in this. I feel like Glamlite is becoming the new Hip Dot in a way, because when was the last time that Glamlite just did a original collection? Like, just like a regular Glamlite collection. I haven't seen a regular Glamlite collection in years and years. I have only have seen them do these collabs, and there is a loud ass plane flying overhead, so sorry if you guys can hear that. Like, the last mini launches that I have seen from them have all been collabs of some sort. I don't remember them doing just like a regular standalone Glamlite collection in a very long time, and that's kind of like what Hip Dot did and everything too. Like, they started out having their own like branded Hip Dot collection items, but then they just started doing nothing but these collabs, and now Hip Dot hasn't put out anything in I think a year. The next launch that we have here is going to be from NYX, and this is the Pro-Fix Stick Correcting Concealer. And it looks like they're going to have like regular concealer shades, and then they're going to have 6 color correctors. And this is an interesting packaging that they got going on for these products. They got 18 shades, which the shade range could be better. Just putting that out there. But then again, I don't know what the coverage is supposed to be like with these guys. It says that it's supposed to have medium coverage. Okay, so that could make a bit more sense. But the thing is though, is that I don't like the idea of this kind of packaging for a concealer. So many brands have had this kind of packaging for concealers, and the overall consensus that I have heard from my years of working in beauty retail and like keeping up with beauty content here on YouTube is that people don't care about these stick concealers. They just don't. Like, they're hard to work with. Like, the coverage can be very hit or miss. The texture isn't that great and everything, especially for like the under eye and everything. Like, they like tug and pull and everything, because like you're thinking to yourself like, oh, it's a concealer and a stick, I can just draw this on and everything. But the consistency of it, because of it being a stick, is going to be a bit more firm. You need to like warm up to the skin and everything to where it'll like glide on smoother and blend easier. And so I don't know. Like, they claim that it's gonna have like the smoothest glide that's never dry, but honestly, I don't trust it. I don't trust it, because so many of these kinds of products have come out over the years and they all have been less than impressive. So I don't think that this is gonna be a particularly good launch. If you want a good medium coverage concealer from NYX, I would say just go with the Bear With Me concealer serum from them, if they haven't discontinued it like they have done with everything else in the Bear With Me line so far. Like, get that concealer. I really like that concealer. A tiny bit goes a long way, and it looks good on the skin. It wears really well. I really like it. I really love that concealer. I'm wearing it today. So this next launch is one that I'm actually am kind of curious about, which is odd for me. And that is a launch from Makeup Revolution. I have talked a lot of shit about Makeup Revolution over the years, especially with this particular series. These new highlighters though, these are the Beam Bright highlighters. Is that what they're called? Or are they called the Glass Skin Glow? I don't know. I think they're called the Glass Skin Glow highlighters. That's what they're called. Beam Bright is just a tagline for it. Okay, and there are 5 shades: Mauve Rose, a soft pink, a soft bronze, golden, and an icy silver. And just by looking at these in the pan, they almost look as if they could be like a beige gelée kind of formula. And they just look so nice and glowy. I definitely want to test these out. I want to test these out before I purchase them. I don't know if they're in Ulta stores or not, but I would definitely like to test these. They're going to be $10 each, and yeah, I'm really curious about these. The shade that I'm most curious about is going to be Rose Luster, because I love myself a good like pink tone highlighter. So the next launch that we are going to be talking about is up for pre-order, and I don't have a release date. All that I know is that it's up for pre-order, and this is from Vampyre Cosmetics, and this is their Space Invaders collection. This is a very interesting brand to me, because the first time that I ever heard about this brand was the Silent Hill collection that they did back during like right before Halloween season, which I still really want the Pyramid Head palette. I still really want that palette. I might get it. I might get it soon with like the gift money that I got for Christmas. I don't know. It's an expensive palette, so I don't know if I'll actually bite the bullet and get it. If I get the bonus from work that I am allegedly supposed to be getting on my next paycheck in a few weeks, I might get it then. But if I don't get that bonus then, well, I don't know when I might be getting that palette. But I do really want that palette because I really enjoy Silent Hill. But I have seen a few other collections come out from the brand, and they do like these really interesting licensed collections. Like, they have the Space Invaders collection. I didn't talk about it, but they also did a Bill and Ted collection, and it's just like they are doing the most interesting collabs ever. Like, I've never seen a Bill and Ted collab. I've never seen a Silent Hill collab, and I don't think I've seen a licensed Space Invaders collection. I've seen like things that emulate the vibe, but I've never seen like a legit Space Invaders collection. I'm just gonna be like upfront and brutal and everything. This isn't something for me, but I really love the concept of it. I know, who was it? Was it Lethal Cosmetics that have like the retro gaming collections and everything, like the 1-Up and the 2-Up palettes? I feel as if this is like that kind of vibe, but with the less irritating packaging. Alright, so next up we have a new launch from Nest, and this is for a new fragrance from them, and this is the Lychee Rose. And this is... it's a nice scent. I feel as if like it smells better on somebody than it does if you just spray it on a test strip, because I have smelled this guy since it's come out, and I'm very on the fence about it. Is it a pleasant scent? Yes, but like I said, I feel as if it smells better on somebody than on a test strip. As when I smelled this, I smelled it on a test strip, but then somebody had sprayed it on themselves and let me have a smell, and it smelled better on them than it did on the test strip. So I don't know. I wouldn't go after this. I do love rose scented stuff if it's like mixed in with something else. Like one of my favorite rose scents is Rose from Ellis Brooklyn. Really pleasant rose scent. But this here, I don't know if it's for me. I feel like that's how I feel about Nest in general. I feel like a lot of their fragrances are like, I am really into this, or it's not for me. Because the scents that I really do like from them, I do like Wild Poppy. I'm not obsessed with it, but I do like Wild Poppy. But my favorite scent from them is Indigo. Love that scent. Love that scent a lot. Alright, so the next launch that we have here is going to be from Singe Beauty, which is a Jaclyn brand. And this is a new set of brushes that she is putting out. It's launching 7 face brushes, and there's also going to be a makeup sponge and a velvet powder puff. And this first photo that I'm going to show you guys is just going to be the brushes, and then the next image that I'm going to show you guys is going to be the sponge and the puff. And it's going to be one of those triangular puffs that like everybody and their deceased aunt is raving about and whatnot. I understand why people like these puffs and everything, but considering that I have very, very dry skin and I can't use setting powders because of the fact that my skin is so dry, it's never going to be something that I am ever going to use. This is a cute little new collection from Singe Beauty. I don't know if I'll ever try the brand out. I might. I do really enjoy Angie. I've been watching her for quite some time now. As you guys know, if you watched my makeup collection video that I did right before the end of the year, I've had 2 of her collab palettes. I had the Club Nebula palette, which I did declutter, not because it's a bad palette, but just simply because I just don't reach for it, and it takes up a lot of space in my collection. It's also no longer available. But I also have the Hella palette that she did with Odin's Eye, and that palette I do really enjoy. Anyways, this is a nice little launch from her brand Singe Beauty, and I'm really curious about what all else she's gonna do with this brand. Also, I know at the initial launch of the brand, they were only selling the brushes in bundles, but they are now selling the brushes individually. So you can now purchase the brushes from the brand individually, and they also all have their own individual boxes now. Okay, so this next fragrance launch that we have here is one that I have smelled, and this is such an interesting scent for me and everything, because I never thought I would be like, ooh, okay, and that is Mood Ring from Phlur. So I have smelled a few fragrances from Phlur, and I'm not gonna lie, they're not really my thing. Father Figure is an interesting scent. I love the name of it. I love the name of it so much. But at the same time, though, whenever I think of it, it makes me think of Ideal Father, which is the alternate name for Abstract Daddy from Silent Hill 2. And if you don't know who Abstract Daddy is from Silent Hill 2, stay that way, because that is a horrifying monster. It is a horrifying monster. If you want your innocence to be tainted, I will go ahead and taint it right now. But it is basically a massive dong in a bed with 3 legs. It represents a character who was essayed by her father. So yeah, fun times. Whenever I think of father figure, I think of ideal father, which in turn makes me think of that. Anyways, let's talk about Mood Freak. The keynotes are fruit gummies. Yes, fruit gummies. Orange flower and glazed musk. And I feel it's the musk in it that really cuts through the sweetness of it and makes it so unique. It is a very interesting scent. I would never wear it myself, but it is an interesting scent though. Okay, good. I do have these on my list. Okay, because I was really hoping that I did, because I wanted to talk about these, because I have smelled, I think 3 of these, 6 of these new fragrances from Clean, and I have smelled, like I mentioned, 3 of these. I don't think that they have a particular collection name, but these came out in mid-December. If you're unfamiliar with Clean, like their fragrances are like very much that. They're very clean, they're very soft, very everyday, fresh kind of scents. First one we have is Water Lotus, which the notes on it are going to be water lily, miquette, and musk. I don't believe that was one of the ones that I tested. No, it wasn't. We have Musk Noir, which is a fresh citrus and fruity scent, which the keynotes are going to be mandarin, orange blossom, and musk. Okay. Then we have Waterfall, which is a fresh citrus and fruit scent once again. And the notes on it are going to be aquatic accord, apple blossom, and vetiver. And then these last 3 I have smelled, and this next one is my favorite of those 3 that I have smelled, and it is Brilliant Peony, which is a fruity floral. The keynotes are going to be peony, magnolia, and musk. Oh my god, it smells so good. It smells so good. I really love peony. Peony is such a good floral scent. I feel as if it's a bit underrated, and also peonies are my favorite flowers, so there's also that. But ooh, this one smells so nice. It smells so nice. I need to like spray it on myself and do like a wear test of it and see if I might want to get it, because I really like that one. And then there is Golden Citrus, which is fresh citrus and fruits. Keynotes are going to be mandarin, orange blossom, and musk. That one is okay. When it comes to me and citrusy scents, they are very hit or miss for me, and I also have learned that citrus scents don't work on me anymore. They used to work nicely for me, but they no longer do anymore, so I stay away from them now. And then the last one is Nectarine Petal, which is a fruity floral, and the keynotes are going to be nectarine, peach blossom, and musk. Once again, not really into citrusy scents, but I feel like the floral really comes out in that one, whereas the citrus comes out in Golden Citrus. I am curious about the Waterfall, just simply because I like the name. So if I'm able to smell that one at some point, then yeah, I'll give it a go. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to do like a wear test of that Brilliant Peony, like spray it on myself, see how it wears throughout the day, see if it works well for me, and I just might buy it, because my goal for this year is to get through one of my full-size fragrances, because I've had a lot of my full-size fragrances for a long time and I need to get through them. Let's touch on this, because this is something that I'm just like, why does this need to exist? And this is the new mascara from Too Faced, and this is the Naturally Better Than Sex mascara, and this is supposed to be a more natural, less intense version of the original Better Than Sex mascara. This is really like going into that like no makeup territory, but to a very aggressive direction, because it's just like, let's put on mascara without looking like we're wearing mascara type of thing. Like, if you're wanting to do that, get a clear mascara. Yeah. A new launch from Marc Jacobs. I think there's another launch from them on my list as well. This is going to be the Daisy Pop collection. That's what I'm calling it, because they're all different forms of Daisy Pop. And so we have the regular Daisy Pop, which is going to be a floral citrus. Then we have Daisy Love Pop, which is going to be a woody gourmand. And then lastly, we have Daisy Oh So Fresh Pop, which is going to be a floral fruity scent. The Daisy scents are so hit or miss for me, and most of them are misses. I only like but two of the Daisy scents. I like the one that's in the orange bottle. A friend of mine described it almost like this is a scent that you wear when you're going to church and everything, like a church picnic type of scent. Like, that's how she described it, and I was just like, no, but I kind of like that scent though. Like, it's a very pleasant, fresh, everyday kind of scent. And I also really love the Daisy Dream. Oh my god, Daisy Dream is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. But the other daisies, I'm just not really here for. I'm just not really here for. When it comes to the Daisy line, it's not the line that I like from Marc Jacobs. I personally really like the Perfects, or specifically the EDT and the Intense. The original is okay, but I really love the Intense and the EDT when it comes to the Perfect line. But these guys, I'll give them a smell if I ever come across them, but I have a feeling that I'm not going to like them because, like I mentioned, I tend to not like the daisies in general. I have a new launch from Rare Beauty, and that is their body care line. So they are launching a line of body care products. So we have the Find Comfort Body and Hair Fragrance Mist. We have the Hydrating Body Lotion, Hydrating Hand Cream, and then the Stop and Soothe Aromatherapy Pen. And this is already out now, and this is a very interesting launch. I feel this is going to be almost like them trying to take on Sol de Janeiro a bit, because I know that a lot of Sol de Janeiro's current target audience really likes Rare Beauty as well. So I think that this is a good move for the brand, because this is going to keep people just solely sticking with this brand. So they'll probably continue to expand upon this line, and I'm really curious about what they're going to do. Are these things that I'm going to go after? No. I'm not really into like the body care kind of products, aside from maybe like sugar scrubs and bubble bath. I'll see how people feel about that line from Rare Beauty, and we'll see if I might ever go after it or test it and sample it. It's probably going to be a no, but you never know. All right, now this next scent that we're going to talk about is one that I have smelled, and spoiler alert, I don't like it. This is the Black Opium Eau de Parfum Over Red from YSL. The Black Opiums I do not like. The only one that I like is the Illicit Green. That's the only one that I like. And this one just smells like the regular Black Opium, but with cherry. And it's just not for me. It's not for me. We're gonna move on. We do have another fragrance from Marc Jacobs here on my list, and it's another Daisy. Yeah. But this one, I'm curious about it because it does seem like it might be different and interesting, but also I just really love the packaging on it. The packaging on this is so cute. This is the Daisy Wild. This bottle, I love this bottle. And I love the green. I love the green liquid. And I'm really curious about this. The notes are going to be wildflower, jasmine, vetiver, and banana blossom. The banana blossom part is what's intriguing me, because I want to know what that smells like. Like, I know it's not going to smell like bananas. I already know that. But what does banana blossom smell like? It's kind of like how, like, people were, like, a bit shook when Replica came out with the tomato leaf fragrance, and people were thinking that at first it was going to smell like tomatoes, but no, it smells like tomato leaf, which, by the way, I smelled that one. I did not care for it, but someone had mentioned to me that it would work well as a candle, and to that I can see. I'm curious about this Daisy Wild. I'm really curious about it. I'll have to give it a go. I don't know when it's coming out. It just says coming soon, so we'll have to wait and see when this guy comes out. All right, so next up we got a few launches from Cosmetics, and it looks like we just got 2 different launches here. So we have the Camo Liquid Blushes, and then we have the Camo Hydrating CC Creams. So they came out with the original CC Creams a few years ago, and for me, I was just like, okay, they're doing their take on the It Cosmetics thing. Alright, cool, making it more affordable. But this CC cream is going to have full coverage to it, which is a big turnoff for me because I do not like full coverage foundations. I prefer like sheer to medium coverage. That's what I like on myself. And with this being a CC cream, it's also going to be most likely heavy, and that is again something that I do not like when it comes to foundations. So this product is going to be a big pass for me. And then when it comes to the liquid blushes, I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit curious about these, but at the same time I really don't know. They claim to have a dewy finish, which I do like because I have dry skin and I like to have a bit of a glow to my skin, but I honestly don't know if this is gonna be like a product for me. However, I'll have to wait and see how people feel about that guy. And again, this is something that's coming soon. We don't have a date here, but we'll find out eventually. Next up, we have a new launch from Juvia's Place, and they came out with some like multi-chrome, duochrome liquid eyeshadows. So these are the Culture 2 liquid eyeshadows. We have, I think, 6 shades here, and they're supposed to be like very shifty and very like chromy and whatnot. These kinds of products, I don't know. When it comes to like multi-chrome products, I am very curious about getting into them. But the thing is though, is that I don't really care for liquid shadows is the problem. I would much rather have them in a pressed format. But with that being said though, I know that I want to try the Decay ones because I have swatched one of her multi-chrome liquid shadows and it was stunning, absolutely stunning. Formula was wonderful, the color payoff was wonderful, the wear time on it was wonderful. It was just a beautiful product through and through. I swatched the ColourPop ones and they were okay. They were okay, but they were very crumbly. They did not wear very well at all. Do I think that these might be better? Possibly. I don't know. But I also haven't heard anybody talk about these yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Like, is this like a good way for like the drugstore to bring multi-chromes into the market? Absolutely. But at the same time though, are we just gonna stick with like Decay and other indie brands that are like selling them for like a really high price point because they're actually good and we can trust those formulas? Or are we just gonna settle for these drugstore brands putting them out because they're cheaper? We'll have to find out. Speaking of which, ColourPop is releasing new shades of the BFF cream gel liners, and these are going to be in some like multi-chrome shifty shades as well. Now these I'm really curious about because with them being in a liner formula, I think that these would actually work out really well because they're going to stay like nice and creamy. They shouldn't like bunch up and smudge too much or crumble and everything, because I know that people really love and swear by these BFF liners. I haven't tried them out yet, but I know, like I said, people swear by them. And so I'm really curious about these, and knowing me, I'm probably am going to go after Ventura Boulevard, the cobalt that goes to like teal and purple, because that is just my kind of vibe. Power Trip, which is a metallic green teal that shifts to blue to violet, that one looks really pretty too. That one looks really pretty as well. You see, like these look really nice, and again, it just makes me think like, should I try these ones out before I try out the Decay ones? Because these ones are going to be $9 each. The Decay ones, I believe, are $22. We'll have to wait and see. I'll see what people are going to say about these guys, and then I'll see if I'll get them or not. But I am really curious about them. They are going to be in Ulta stores or at least online for Ulta. So at least I know I could possibly get them through Ulta. Next up, we have a new launch from Natasha Denona, and this is the My Mini Dream collection. So we have the My Mini Dream palette and the My Mini Dream Glow blush. And I don't really know how I feel about this. The mini palette is just a basic neutrals palette. The blush though is really catching my attention because it feels like that cheek palette, that 3-pan cheek palette that she put out for this collection, but condensed in one tiny little pan, because you have like the highlighter and you have like 2 different blush shades which are like very neutral in tone. And obviously you can swirl them all together, you can wear them individually type of things. I don't know how large the pan is going to be though, so it might be tricky to do things individually, but you never know. But me, I'm the most curious about that blush. That's what I'm curious about. The eyeshadow palette, nah, but the blush, I'm curious about that one. Okay, so next up we have a hair launch that we're going to talk about real quickly. And this is from K18, and this is the Damage Shield Protective Conditioner. Now, I've tried the shampoo in this particular range now within K18, and it was okay. It was okay. I didn't really care for it that much. I find that K18 just isn't the bond repair line for me. I've tried a few things from them. I've tried the shampoo, the leave-in, and the oil, and they just didn't work for me. They're just not my thing. I am more of an Olaplex person. Olaplex products have never done me wrong, and so yeah, like I am curious about trying out a bond repair conditioner because I haven't tried a bond repair conditioner, so I am curious about trying it possibly, but at the same time though, I'm not gonna go out of my way to try it. The next set that we have that we're gonna talk about, I am very, very curious about. Actually, no, we're gonna save that one for the last fragrance that we'll talk about because I'm so excited about it, and we'll touch on this one instead. They're both from the same line, and that is Jean Paul Gaultier. But this is the La Belle Paradise Garden, and this bottle, stunning, absolutely stunning. And the scent notes in here, we got a lot of different scent notes listed on here. I don't know which are the keys, bodies, and hearts and whatnot because we don't have that in the description box here, but all the scent description notes and whatnot that are throughout the fragrance are going to be Blue Lotus, Heliotrope, Vanilla, Almond, Ginger, Iris, Woody notes, okay, Ylang Ylang, and Bergamot. I don't think that this is going to be one that I'm gonna be interested in, but you know what one I am interested in though, because I have a fragrance from Jean Paul Gaultier and I really do enjoy it. It is going to be the Le Beau Paradise Garden. This bottle is the gayest thing that I have ever seen. Sailor bottles are all very gay. Let's be honest, they're all very gay. The scent notes on this guy listed are going to be coconut, ginger, mint, green fig, sandalwood, and tonka bean. This, I need to smell this. I need to smell this. I want to smell this so badly. Can this potentially be a blind buy for me? Possibly, because I would want like a regular size bottle of this because I just love the look of the bottle so much. But also the scent description just sounds so interesting. It sounds very fresh and clean, but also like a bit summery as well. Like it just sounds so unique and interesting, and I need to smell this. I need to smell this. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes out for this guy when it's going to launch and everything, because I am very curious about it, as you guys can tell. Oh my god, I am like out of words right now. I'm tired. I've been recording for almost 2 hours. Lighting has gone to shit. I thought I was going to film another video after this, but clearly I'm not. if I do film another video, today is going to be this evening. That is it for this installment of Am I Gonna Buy This? Talking about product launches, announcements, sneak peeks, news updates for the month of December. This was a long one. I did not expect this to be a long one, but here we are. I am tired. My back is hurting. My balls hurt, oddly enough, and my eye is itchy. Like my eyelid. It's not because of the makeup, it's because of my hair. What did you guys think about these products that I talked about in this video? Are any of these products on your wish list? Have you anti-hauled anything? Did you pick anything up? Did you try anything? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on these things down in the comments below, because I know we talked about a lot today. I know I tried out a few of the things like I mentioned, particularly when it came to the fragrances, but what are you guys excited about? Are you excited about that Jean Paul Gaultier cologne that I was freaking out about? Or is it just me? But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you all had a wonderful time ringing in the new year. And I am going to go hide away for a little bit to recover from filming for so long now. And chill for a little bit. And probably eat some food. Because that is definitely something that I am wanting and eating right now. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys, and until I see you guys in my next video, whenever that might be, goodbye.